Hi family, welcome back to Boss Diaries. Today we have another special guest on the channel. This is Harlem.
Hi.
And in this video we'll be talking about her journey of becoming a boss. She is an illustrator, she is a designer, she creates a lot of artwork. She's also created a book which we'll be talking about very soon. And yeah, just how she felt about it, her process of it. Also speaking about balancing it with uni work and her social life as well. So yeah, so where do we start?
From the beginning.
So Harlem, like, talk about your journey of being an illustrator, an artist. Like, what first inspired you to be an artist, or like, how did you kind of like start that journey off, would you say?
So I did art all throughout secondary school.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the only subjects I actually enjoyed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it got to year 10
Mm-hmm.
when I was like, I could get used to doing this, you know, as like potentially a career.
Yeah.
Then we got to sixth form. My grades weren't the best.
Mm-hmm.
But when we was applying and looking at universities, when I looked down the like different art courses, illustration was the one that kind of stood out to me because it was basically just drawing.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to do anything else. You've got to still do the research and when you apply the research to your work, so you try it out, experiment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, then I went to uni and did it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And then, okay, so in terms of when you created your business, was this Illustrations by Harlem?
I mean, my Instagram and my website is called illustrationharlemedwin.
Will be in the description box below.
I don't really have a title. Just call it that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, it was at uni when I made my website, I think in my second year.
Wow.
Which is when I made my first book. Because it was for one of my classes. So it was for,
Perfect. So like when you was making, obviously you said that the name, you just kind of came up with it. But like, was it easy to find that name for yourself, or did it just flow when you was making it?
That's a good question. I think my mum helped me pick that out because we had to make. We had to make a website that went with kind of like our brand. So we had to basically make a brand for ourselves, and so we had to do the business card, the like header on like if you was to have if you was gonna send out letters, stuff like that. And it was just kind of the one that kind of stuck in terms of it represents me.
Yeah, 100%.
And then you know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because it's illustration. So it's just the easiest thing to go with. So it's not too complicated, and people can literally go, oh, cool, she draws.
Illustrations by Harlem. Literally, it's in the name.
Yeah, it just
flowed
naturally.
Perfect. In terms of like illustrations and stuff, what advice would you give to someone that wants to be an illustrator or that wants to be like an artist or designer?
I'm not gonna lie, it is very difficult.
Yeah.
But I guess you just have to stick it out. You're gonna have days when you feel like your stuff is not good enough.
Yeah.
You've got no motivation, you've got no inspiration, but you literally just have to try and push through. Especially when, like, with social media these days, you've got a lot of people on there that are making content constantly every day, and then that can also drain you, bring you down, because you think,
so much competition.
Exactly. You think that they're their stuff's so much better than me, but literally you have to ignore.
100%.
You have to ignore them, or look at it as, oh, I can do that. Do you know what I mean? Or even challenge yourself.
100%.
Try and do what
Learn
you see other people doing. Not necessarily in their style, but in your own style. That's the way to like develop and progress, and then you can see what you can and can't do, or what you can or what you like and don't like. That's the way of ruling out where you think you want to be with your art, I guess.
100%. And would you recommend for people to go to university to like study like the art career that you were studying, or do you think that it's possible for someone to kind of like go down that path without going to university?
I definitely think you can go down without going to university. A lot of people tend to go to university just because they make you...
The facilities and stuff.
They make you do a foundation year majority of the time. I was fortunate not to do that because that's like an extra year you do before you then join uni.
Okay.
So you end up doing 4 years instead of 3.
Instead of 3.
Yeah. But if you do like courses that they offer at uni, I think it's when you do just straight art. Sometimes they offer it as a 4-year or a 3-year course, and that 4-year basically includes the foundation year. So you learn some of that while you're still at uni instead of having to do the extra year after sixth form.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't have to go down that route. There are apprenticeships and stuff like that available. But I guess it's easier to go to uni, in my opinion, just because you've got those people that are there to help you kind of develop your skill, and then you're surrounded by other people as well, because the courses usually take quite a lot of people.
Okay.
I think on my course I had around 50 people. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
In one classroom?
Yeah. Because the classrooms are big, especially where I went. So you've got all of those people around you that you can take inspiration from, talk to, build relationships, and then that way when you're done and you go out into the world, you know you've still got those connections, and you can be like, oh my god, I knew that person, or like, oh yeah, I know these people. So, you know, at least then
you have the network already there.
Exactly. And then you've got people, if they maybe get higher up than you first, you can always give them a little nudge.
100%.
Like, here's my portfolio. So,
definitely. And then when you was like creating designs and like drawing stuff out, how did you balance like making the time to do your drawings and do your uni work, as well as also trying to like upload on your little business page as well? Like, how did you balance it out?
So when I first started out, it was part of my uni work, so it wasn't a problem.
Okay, perfect.
So it was literally what I was drawing was to do with my course. So I would just be able to, I could post like most of my experiments that I did for my work, as well as doing it for the work. It got a lot more trickier, especially as when my 3rd year ended up being in 2020, so when we was in lockdown, and the classes went online. It's a lot harder to show people your artwork on a computer when they can't see it face to face. So it's hard to get critique and like improvements from that. And then there was a lack of motivation within that time period as well. Especially as I wasn't really doing anything else, because obviously we was in lockdown, and I'm trying to focus on doing uni work, but we're stuck indoors all day. So it's like, where do I find that motivation? And where do I find my inspiration besides the internet? Because they like you to have primary and secondary resources. And I'm only being able to get secondary because I can't do my primary. I can't go outside. Do you know what I mean? And obviously it just determines on what you're researching as well. I guess maybe if you're doing something to do with like trees and plants, you can go outside. But so it was a lot. It was quite difficult then, and I would say now too, just because I am working full time. Not in illustration. It's something I do on the side. It can take a while, just because I can do a 7 to 8 hour shift and then come home and be like, oh, I can't really be anything. But because my job is quite flexible, if my shift is in the evening, I have that time during the day to then be able to get something out, even if it is just a little bit. I still see it as I've done something. 100%. So give myself a pat on the back. Finding
the balance of like using your spare time for yourself, and then also using your spare time to like do some illustrations and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Wow. In terms of like your inspiration, okay, so with her illustrations, guys, they're so, when I tell you they're so good, we're going to introduce the book in a little second. Wait for the book. But with your illustrations, it's like, how can I explain it? So when you were doing your illustrations for your book, did the ideas kind of just come to your head and you put it straight on paper, or did you have to like do some secondary research and like look at kind of different cartoonized images to get your own style, if that makes sense?
Very good question.
I'm genuinely interested, guys.
Yes, very good question. So when I first did the book, it was for my second year project at uni. The brief was literally just to create a 32-page picture book.
Oh, wow.
It could have either been a book that's already published and you just redraw the images in your own way.
Okay.
Or you could create your own story. And I think I said to myself, I knew I wanted to make my own story, but I didn't know what I wanted it to be about.
Yeah.
So I think I did some research. Can't really remember how I came across the idea, but I think I knew I wanted to do something that could inspire other people. And then, because we had to choose a age bracket as well, I think I went for like the younger age bracket. I want to say between 7 and 12, maybe. That might be a bit big, but so that they could understand and appreciate what kind of the idea behind the book is about. I don't really want to give it away before you introduce it.
We're about to introduce it, guys.
I knew I wanted it to be inspirational and for people to be able to look at it and think, oh, I can, it does apply to me. There's things 100%. Out there that I can relate to, because there isn't a lot of that, or there wasn't a lot of that.
There was definitely a gap in the market.
Exactly. So I was like, I'm going to slip myself into that market and see how it goes.
Yes,
well, yeah.
So we're going to introduce the book now, because I know you guys are itching to be like, okay, so what book did she make? What does it look like? So I'll let Harlem introduce her own book. Here you go, baby girl.
Sure. So the book's called Here We Grow. I did write and illustrate it myself. It's about a little girl called Nevaeh who is taken on a journey about her heritage. So that she can like understand and kind of appreciate the beauty of her hair, because a lot of little black girls don't have that encouragement 100%. And I guess influence,
especially around that age group that you're saying.
Exactly.
That's the age where they start to compare their hair and want it to be a certain type of way that's not theirs.
Exactly, because you get all of the stereotypes of it being straight is the way, when it's not the only way that's out there. There are other ways people can have their hair.
100%.
So the book is literally just about literally about her talking to her mum and I think her grandma or her aunt. Yeah, it's been a while.
Inside out, guys.
It's been a while. And about the different cultures, like even here. I don't know
too much now. Don't tell them too much. But if you don't want to, or if you have interest in this book and you want to see more about it, you like the topic that it's about, please head to Amazon and you can purchase the book. So how would they find the book on Amazon? What would they have to type in? Is it just for Here We Grow?
You can either search for Here We Grow, or you can do Here We Grow and type in my name. It should come up anyway.
Perfect. Yeah. And what can we expect from you in terms of like art and illustrations? Is there things that you're working on that we can look forward to?
Potentially, I'm hoping to bring out a new book, hopefully by summer next year. I'm not going to give anything away because it's a sequel to another book that's also on Amazon. So depending on my personal life, or should I say depending on my next career path, hopefully I'll have enough time in the new year to continue writing my new book, which will hopefully be out summer of next year. It's to do with my other book that's on Amazon, but we're not talking about that. But yeah.
Okay, perfect. And for anyone that's like looking to do illustration or art in that like scene, what advice would you give them?
It would be just to take your time, because these things do take time. It can be frustrating when you are trying to draw something and you just, for the life of you, it's not looking the way you want it to look. It does take time, and you just kind of have to keep kind of going and finding the motivation to keep developing it, because sometimes you draw something one time and then if you draw it again you think, oh, actually it does come out a little bit better than the first time you drew it. So it's just to just take your time and just keep at it, really. And
not comparing yourself to what you see on social media. Don't let that doubt you, because everyone has their own like style, everyone's unique, everyone is different. So just because one person may be doing illustration or art and it's doing really well, it doesn't mean that you can't start and also do well. There's space for everyone in the market. Definitely. So please just don't give up and keep pushing yourself and stay consistent as well, because I think consistency is also definitely key.
Definitely, because I feel like I kind of lost that, especially after lockdown, and then being in my job that I'm working in full time, you just don't have a lot of time to do anything. So it is just about being consistent. Even if you don't feel like doing it one day, still try and slot it in another day, even if it's not on the day that you're not feeling it. Definitely try and get it in as much as you can. Just because...
and find the balance as much as you can. Because the more work that you're able to put out there and show, the more people are able to see, and the more they're able to look at it and be like, oh, like I like this style, like stuff like that. And I think even if you can't write or anything, like there still should be like an opening there.
Yeah. So like if you don't feel confident in writing your own book, there are people out there who did major in English literature or English language who are looking for people to illustrate maybe like a short story that they've written on the side or something like that. They just haven't really found the time to approach people. Yeah. So like it's literally a word of mouth. I'm sure there's people that you would know in your personal life who know someone who's looking for somebody to 100%. Illustrate something. And that's how I was approached about a commission I've done for someone. I think I've done 2 of their books over the course of this year and last year.
Oh, wow.
Where amazing. It was literally a friend of family who approached me about they liked my illustration style and wanted me to do some illustrations for their book. So even if it's not a full book, it could be like 3 or 4 illustrations, maybe like a front cover or something like that. Even then, it's a little extra cash on the side. So as well as the experience, you've got that as well. So
build up your portfolio, you're getting yourself out there. And then when that person is releasing that book to people and they're like, oh, like who done your illustrations? Well, your details should be illustrated. Is it illustrated? It should be put in the book anyway, I think.
Yeah. So you can, if there's a dedication page or like an information page, you can get your like website and your details
on there, so then people can
for small print. Yeah.
Perfect. And then also in terms of like making a book, is it cost effective or would you say it's an expensive process?
I wouldn't say it's expensive. I would say you'd have to look into... Amazon's probably one of the best places I know of so far. Or in terms of getting the book printed. I was fortunate to be able to print this with them. Yeah. And then because I was advertising with them, I can buy it in bulk at a cheaper rate than what I'm advertising it on Amazon. So that then I can give it out to friends and family at a discounted rate. There's probably other options as well out there. I haven't personally looked to see if there is anything, but it probably is. Yeah, and I also knew when I was at uni, I knew of somebody who does like printing for a living. So I was able to get like a discount then to get some books printed. So that's another way of doing it, seeing if there's any connections. All about the networking to get stuff, you know, at a discounted rate, because obviously you can't get it for free. Yeah, but, 100%. You know, you can get it a little bit cheaper, especially if you're, you know, in a situation where you just trying to promote yourself. They obviously won't mind. Yeah. So
definitely do your research, guys. The time that Harlem obviously published her book on Amazon, I think you said it was free.
Yeah, because it was in lockdown, so back in 2020. So
now we're not sure what it is.
So have a look. I think it's called like Amazon Publishing or something like that. So have a look and see what they offer.
Definitely. And then for people that's obviously new to this whole thing but want to go down that road, what do they need to have to be able to even qualify to publish with Amazon? Do they need to have every page in digital form?
So Amazon's got like a spec that gives you specific things that you need to do for the book. It required a specific amount of pages before they could print it. So if you're any less than that, I don't think it does it. I don't think it matters if it's any more. So you just have to make sure you're following what they need before you can get it printed. But it's not too much to ask for, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
Definitely. And would you say that you need to go to university to be able to like do the illustration journey, or do you think someone that's not able to go to university can do it from the comfort of their home?
I think it can be done from the comfort of your home. I think there's a lot of, like nowadays, there's a lot of online classes, apprenticeships, stuff like that you can apply for and kind of join in order to learn the skills that people learn at uni.
Perfect.
Not saying that uni isn't the way to go. If you're somebody who wants to experience that, you can, because they've obviously got professors and all of that are there to guide you and help you, to give you critique and just kind of help you develop your skills more.
Yeah.
And like when I was at uni, I was in a group of 50 classmates who were there to like, you can look at their stuff and kind of generate ideas, bounce ideas off each other, and at least you know you're going through the same 3 years together. Obviously your style's not going to be the same, but you know that you're all doing the same brief, but you're just going to come out with different ideas, and it's quite nice to have somebody who's going through that with you,
100%,
because then you get to bounce ideas off of each other and you can look at each other's
support
work
on your journey as well.
Exactly. And it's just nice to have somebody who knows what you're going through.
Definitely.
It's up to you really. I always encourage people to have someone or people who are doing the same thing as them or something similar to them, so that they can like understand your frustration when you're you don't know if you can.
Someone that kind of understands the lingo and the concept of what it is.
Like say if you're frustrated with your drawing, you don't like how it looks, they can encourage you to be like, no, keep going. Stuff like that. So
definitely. Perfect. And also I just wanted to let you know that you've really inspired me with your journey. For those of you that don't know, me and Harlem did always used to meet up together. And there's some days that we'll literally just be sitting in silence and got a pencil and paper and we'll be drawing and just being in zen. We would like look at each other's drawings, and like I would encourage her, she would encourage me. There was a point in time where I actually did stop drawing, and then if I was to go through like life situations, it felt like I was dealing with it like extra heavy, like it felt like an extra load was on me. So I used to question myself and be like, why does it feel extra hard to deal with these like everyday life little situations? So when I was back tracing, I realised I stopped drawing. So I was like, wow, drawing was actually therapy to me. So seeing Harlem obviously continuously, you know, developing her craft and keeping up with her drawing, it really inspired me to also keep doing it and keep drawing. And I've been able to develop a lot. And Harlem doesn't actually know this, but quite a few years ago now, I actually illustrated a book for someone. And the way that it happened is they saw my work, I think it was on Facebook, and I'll just be posting like random, I don't even remember, to be honest guys, I think it was like a random drawing, and they really loved my work, and they asked me to illustrate their book for them. They had a book that I think they already wrote it at the time. They had the idea, everything kind of near enough finalized. It was just the pictures that they didn't have. The first thing that I done was actually recommend Harlem's business, because I knew that she was on that journey. And a tip for you guys out there, if you have friends that have businesses, word of mouth, guys. 100%. Like, don't just promote in their faces or where they can see it. If you're out somewhere and someone comes to you about something to do with their business, word of mouth. Speak about their business, show them their Instagram, show them their website, promote it to the highest, because that is your friend, that is your person. So that's the first step that I did, because my drawings at that time, it's like I was good at drawing cartoons, but not to the level where it's going to be in someone's book. So I was just like, no, like this is the girl for that. But they really wanted my style of drawing at the time. So I went ahead with it, did not know what I was doing. I was every day like drawing different things, putting it on paper. I had to send it to the person, and then the person would digitalize it, and then we'd have like little meetings, and then they'll show me like, okay, do you like how it looks digitalized? Is there things that we can edit? I think a lot of the time I had to use like a darker type of pencil in order for the scanner to read the drawing so they can digitalize it. So there's like a lot of back and forth that way. And it's got to the point where it's obviously been published many years ago. It's doing very well. It's in Jamaica right now. It's in a lot of schools. We had like school like meetings with children. I had to like sign the book. Bear in mind, guys, I was so new to all of this. I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Everything happens so fast. So what I'll say to you guys as well is, if there's something you want to do in life, whether it's to do with illustration or anything that you kind of have a passion in, please just put yourself out there. Just start. Don't second guess it. Don't push it back, because when you put your energy into certain things, naturally things will start coming towards you to help grow you in that direction, to help push you that thing in that journey, if that makes sense. So in that specific time, obviously I did enjoy drawing, and by me doing that and continuously being in that good energy space when I was drawing, I attracted that opportunity to me. And it's like, now it's like another little thing that I can put in my, like, I don't know what you call it, biography? Is that the right word? I don't know. I think biography. But yeah, I can put down that I've illustrated a book, even if that's not the journey I'm going on in life. It's something I've done, if that makes sense. So yeah, you really inspired me to just pick up my pencil again and start drawing, and like mentally it's helped me so much. It's so therapeutic. And then off camera I'm going to show her some of the stuff that I've been doing, because, you know, there might be something in the making. But yeah, so guys, I'm going to leave all the links to Harlem's business down below. I'll also put the link for the book that I did illustrate down below as well. I didn't even speak about what it's about. So the book, I believe, oh my gosh, don't quote me on this, this is really bad. This was a lot of years ago, by the way. So what, to my knowledge, the book is about a young lady that's in school, and she kind of is like working on how to deal with her anger. She went through a situation to do with her mom, which was really personal, and yeah, I think it's about her journey going through that process, learning about herself and how to deal with her rage. The book's called Rage. Oh my god, I did not say that. The book is called Rage. I'm not sure if it's on Amazon. Guys, this is really bad. I'm gonna do proper research and then put it all down in the description below. I did actually reach out to the owner of the book to get another copy sent to myself, because they updated the main cover. So it still has my illustration on it, but they've updated like the format and stuff. So when I receive that, I'll also put the links down below for the book, and I'll try and promote it as well on my stuff so that you can get access to it if you're interested in it. But if you like the concept of this video and you're interested to continue watching more episodes of Boss Diaries, please put the thumbs up on this video. Please comment down below. Please subscribe to my channel and press the post notification so you don't miss a video every time it uploads. And thank you so much for coming on to Boss Diaries and speaking on your journey of illustrating a book and balancing it with uni and like giving information. And I really hope that a lot of questions that you may have had to do with illustration or artwork has been answered in this video. If not, please do not hesitate to put a comment down below, and I'll try my hardest to answer any questions you have, or I'll send it straight to Harlem to get her to answer them for me. And yes, thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next episode of Boss Diaries. Bye. Her name is Harlem. Fucking. How so like, is it just hair we now? Oh my god. So I'm doing it for uni. So cheesy. No. Hallelujah.